Hey there, it's Matt with SpeedWeightLossBook.com, and this is another part of our Q&A series. Again, we asked you questions last week on our in our newsletter list, and we got some good questions from you guys. So today I'm going to read one from one of our members. I have managed to gain a little bit of weight every year since about age 40, and that's 13 years ago, all without changing my eating or exercise habits. In fact, once I started getting concerned about it, I upped the exercise and continued to gain weight. While I am not significantly overweight, I would like to lose about 15 pounds. So what gives with the increase even though I eat healthy food and not a great deal of it? Now, without knowing specifics, I can't really say too much about what could have caused the increase. I can take some guesses, and that's what I'm going to do. I do believe this person was female, so there can be some menopausal stuff going on, some hormone changes that could affect maybe some weight. But it all really does come down to what you're eating and stuff like that at some point. The fact that when you up the exercise, it didn't really help much isn't very surprising. As you know, if you've been following us for some time, exercise isn't really all that great for amount of weight loss. Again, exercise's main benefit is to preserve lean tissue. We can't say that enough. So that's why resistance training is really probably the most effective and efficient method of exercise for a weight loss program. Now, one thing that does concern me about the question is that there are not very many specifics. So, for instance, you say, I started getting concerned, I upped the exercise, I don't eat a great deal of food, but there aren't any specifics as far as like, I eat 1,200 calories a day. If you're really concerned about your weight and you want it to come off, you're going to have to get more specific. So, this is a great question for this because sometimes we gloss over this when we talk about weight loss programs. You really need to be meticulous, at least for a little while, about what you're eating, because many people think they're not eating a great deal of food. Even if it's healthy food, you can still overeat, and you need to, for a few weeks or a few months, be very meticulous about measuring and weighing foods and making sure that you know exactly what's going in, because weight loss is all a numbers game. You know, if you set a goal of, okay, I'm going to eat 1,500 calories a day, and you do that for 2 weeks and you don't lose weight, well, guess what? That 1,500 calories a day, it's too much. Plain and simple. I mean, that it's a numbers game. That's how it works. So then maybe you reduce it to 1,250 calories, which is a pretty big reduction from 1,500. But then at least you can do that for a week and see if it works. And maybe you lose 2 pounds that week. Well, now you know that's your calorie level, right? And without tracking food, you don't really know the overall quality of food. That's why food journals are so important. Many people say, well, I eat relatively healthily, or I eat healthy food, but they tend to remember the good and forget the bad. So maybe they're forgetting that, about the donut they ate this morning, or, the cake they had for the birthday party last week. And when those things start popping up frequently, then they add up, right? So if you're journaling, you can look back and count how many things you've eaten over the past week that aren't really on the plan. And then you can try to decide, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do to avoid doing that too often, Obviously, I mean, everybody has a birthday every year, and if that's your thing, go nuts on your birthday, and you should be able to, as long as you're following a plan or doing what you're supposed to be doing for the rest of the year. So, great question, and hopefully some of the tips I've given will really help you. I really recommend, at least for a few weeks, being very meticulous about what you eat, and ask us for help. I mean, if you want to do a food journal and send it to me, I'd be more than happy to look over it. That goes for anybody on the list. So. We're willing to help people out. Of course, our weight loss club has that kind of built into it. We have a forum where you can talk to other members and get feedback from Jeff and I. It's only like $30 a month. You also get webinars, workouts, the Reason reports. I mean, we've got all kinds of cool stuff going on. And for $29.97 or whatever it is a month, you really can't beat that. I mean, all the access to Jeff and I, we charge that for one session for our clients that come into our personal training and weight loss center. So. Think about the club, and if you have any questions about how to join that, just email us or put a comment after this blog post on our blog. Okay, so hope that helps. I'm going to try to tackle another question tomorrow if I have a minute, and if not, I'll see you guys next week. Okay, thanks.